What would we say was the goods and the bads of that relationship?
Of Cycle?
Yeah.
The goods were that the immediate team were phenomenal. Our A&R were brilliant. Everyone that worked closely with us were genuinely amazing at their job. So I would never discredit that. We obviously blew up because we had a team around us that were very passionate about that happening. And, you know, especially at the start of that journey, there was still a lot of budgets and a lot of money in labels. So...
Now what?
Today is January 26th. It's a Sunday. I just randomly wanted to make this video because it's been a month since my last video and I need to feed the algorithm. So I figured why not talk about all the activity going on with Blackpink, with their solo activities. Their marketing has been crazy, like literally one girl after the other has been releasing content or announcing stuff. All of this got me thinking, what the heck is happening with Little Mix? Because right now the girls are soloists and I would figure that they have the same level of marketing as the Blackpink girls. But with Little Mix, it's like they're starting from square one, and mind you, all these soloists came from big girl groups, yet their industry backing is unequal. I think the reason why Blackpink has a bigger machine behind them could be because they were a more successful group in comparison to Little Mix. Or maybe the Little Mix alums don't care to have a big machine behind them anymore, not wanting to participate in the pop star rat race like they did during their Little Mix tenure. Currently, Blackpink's solo activity has been back-to-back with several members' announcements happening at the same time, and it's been hard to keep up. I figured there'd be some activity overlap, with 3/4 of the Blackpink members all announcing US solo activities around the same time, but what I've been seeing this week has been insane. On the 21st, Jennie made her album release date announcement, then at the same time, Rosé dropped her Skims Valentine's Day campaign. Weird collab, by the way. The next day, I think Lisa unveiled one of her 6 alter egos. I don't know how many alter egos she has. Then the weekend came around and everyone was dropping and announcing everything. Jennie surprise dropped a new single, Zen. Rosé was featured in the Bruno Mars music video that just came out. And Lisa announced her collaboration with Ray and Doja Cat.
I'm so honored this day. I was like, ah!
But wait, there's more. This morning I found out Jesy is dropping a surprise mini album on Valentine's Day, and Jennie is releasing another single on the 31st. With all this activity, I'm starting to feel like that Blackpink comeback is actually happening, because the way these girls are promoting right now, they act like they have no time to waste. Still, I love the marketing campaigns that Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé had. Jennie had more of a mystique to her campaign.
It's top secret.
Dropping surprise singles, being vague on the concept of the album as a whole. Rosé had a similar release style, but the concept of her projects were very upfront. You know what you were getting. Lisa had a more traditional rollout. Very big performances were emphasized to try to create pop culture moments. It was interesting to see. Lisa's promotions, interesting enough, had more legs in comparison to the other girls. She dropped her first single summer 2024. She's tethered releases around big events. Her album, for example, would be released during her stint on The White Lotus Season 3. If her team is smart, she'd have song placements in the show, and with her starring in a very popular weekly series, it'll help with her album charting consistently on the 200. I can see Lisa being very successful with her album. Her marketing has been well thought out, strategic, and something I thought I'd see with the Little Mix soloists. Which, speaking of, how can I describe Jade, Perrie, and Leigh-Anne's marketing thus far? It's been inconsistent, horribly paced, unprepared, and non-methodical. I mean, Leigh-Anne has restarted her debut multiple times, plus she's promised or falsely announced music that ends up not being released, and every time she's hyped up an era, it's always fallen short because of the lies. Currently, I have a hard time believing her. Perrie had a mini hiatus after releasing her second single, Tears. I think it's because it didn't receive the reception that she wanted, so she had to go back to the drawing board. Since then, she's been consistently releasing music, though nothing is really capturing people like her debut single. Jade has also been consistently releasing material. The thing with her is that she hardly performs her songs, which has been a major point of contention with her fans. That, and there has been a lot of criticism over her new image, something that she has toned down a bit. There's also issues with her album not having a set release date. I mean, there's a lot. Sometimes with the Little Mix girls, it feels like they're dropping singles with no endgame in sight. There hasn't been an album release date to help set expectations and guide the rollout. It's been a series of somewhat aimless promotions. I think for me, I was so used to the big, well-oiled machine that Little Mix had when they were in a group, that anything that didn't live up to that would be a disappointment to me. They used to have regular televised performances. They'd perform at big festivals, have the summer promo singles. I mean, the fans were constantly being fed content, and there's been loads of interviews seeing the girls act up, showing off their chemistry. We would expect an album every fall around the X Factor finales, tours in between each album, like it was a predictable, reliable machine.
I don't think people would understand that. I really do. I'm a big fan.
Now, I don't know what's going on. There doesn't seem to be a strategy with any of these girls, though I will say Leigh-Anne has had her good moments. During the first tour, she dropped a new single. During the last stop or the first date of the tour, I'm not sure. And I think during one of the tour announcements, she released a new single, making use of all the traction that she could conjure up. I think this past tour, she had to deal with Amazon Music to film one of her shows, and she started releasing some clips on her YouTube channel. And she even teased a live version of her EP back then. Unfortunately, that never came out, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but I'm mad that it wasn't released. I mean, that would have been a great improvement to her streams, and the music would have been so good, hands down. I just know it. However, I just want to say Leigh-Anne pivoting to being a performance-based artist was a good move. She's done a good bit of TV performances, and with her releasing the EP, it allowed her to have something to perform at Rock in Rio Festival, and the tours, she's able to have tours because she has a project out, and the tours will allow her to polish her performance skills, get paid. So hopefully when she debuts again, she'll be ready this time. She bought herself more time as well, I should note that. So hopefully with this new era that's coming, she'll be more consistent and stop making false promises.
You lot are coming for me. This is...
When comparing Blackpink's solo backings to the Little Mix alums, I think it all goes back to what kind of success each of these groups had. Little Mix was huge in the European market. However, they had large audiences in America, Brazil, and Japan. The Japanese base was so large, they would occasionally promote over there. Same thing with America. They regularly promoted over here, opening up for large artists on tour. Most times they'd be in the States for a few months at a time, doing interviews, radio tours, outside of being the opening acts of whatever tour they were on, and they'd cover good ground. But as soon as they'd make progress, it all went to smoke when they left. Eventually they stopped coming here altogether from LM5 onward.
I don't know why.
Which is a huge mistake that the girls didn't want to make. I know LM5 was created for an American audience in mind. Promotion and everything, it's obvious. But for whatever reason, they didn't come over here to promote. There were issues leaving their old label Psycho to RCA, and maybe their RCA deal didn't allow for American promotions. So basically, Little Mix was huge in the European market. Even though they had a strong presence in other markets, they didn't fully crack into those other markets. Whereas with Blackpink, as soon as they had the Asian markets locked in, they went after other markets to break into. You know, not just to establish a strong presence in. And you could argue that they cracked the American market, though I disagree with you. But Blackpink's massive chart success on the Hot 100 and 200 can't be ignored.
It was so good.
After they got their foot in the door with Doo 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 in 2018, Blackpink signed to Interscope October of 2018, and their preceding albums have spawned top 10 to top 40 hits. I wouldn't call them mainstream, but having this level of success in America along with dominating in their home market, it has translated into them getting the push we see today with the American solo activities. Not to mention, Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé came from the K-pop system that's known for its intense fan base. So having that foundation carries a lot of weight that can be levied in so many ways. With Little Mix having all their eggs in the European market, it limited them. Had they had the same success in Europe, in other countries like Japan, Brazil, or even America, I think they have more backing. Because after Little Mix announced their hiatus, most of their fans left.
Oh my god.
That's a great track.
They're not like K-pop fans who are more ride or die. European fans, like American fans, when it comes to groups like Little Mix, most of the time we leave as soon as we grow out of them or when the group ages out. Call us back when there's a reunion. Speculating about all this, I can understand why Little Mix doesn't have the major backing like the Blackpink girls. And I had to ask myself, what type of demand could Little Mix leverage going to those labels looking for solo deals? You know what I mean? Like, what sales figures can they secure? Those numbers might not be that high. Labels don't like taking risks. They want money back guaranteed. So they'll only pour into you what they think you'll make back. But there's a part of me that thinks that if the girls get a big enough push, they could attract their old fan base and the general public, making up for the investment in spades. But I have to wonder what comes along with those investments. Those big marketing budgets come with a very intense schedule, and I don't think these girls want that anymore.
I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating. Right. Okay.
Perrie and Leigh are moms and they have to prioritize their families. Not to mention working a hectic schedule after being overworked in Little Mix is a lot to ask from anyone. That'd be over a decade of doing the whole rat race pop star thing. All the girls have gone on record saying that this is their victory lap. The success with Little Mix was enough. Even though I don't believe in their modest aspirations, I do believe they don't want the schedules that come with the large backing. Another reason why I don't think they'll have a massive marketing budget is because of their ages. Perrie, Leigh, and Jade are approaching their mid-30s. Even though we are in an age where most of the highly successful pop stars are close to or in their 30s, you have to remember the come up for most of these artists were very long. Most started out in their late teens, just now hitting it big, enjoying the fruits of their labor. Looking at Little Mix's ages and calculating how long it takes to break through the competitive music market in the UK and in America, labels are probably thinking they don't have much time to spare, so let's be mindful about the kind of budget we give them. Or maybe their management firm is calling the shots on this. I really don't know.
I'm not going to help you there.
Okay, but before I leave, I just want to say I miss the album campaigns. There's been a lot of horrible rollouts lately where people randomly drop music. Lately, artists surprise drop and announce a tour along with the album, or they make beef online to drum up attention for their music. The art of the album campaign is pretty much gone. The only rollouts that stood out to me this year was Sabrina Carpenter, Griff, and Charlie XCX. Charlie actually talked about how important the marketing was to her releasing Brat during her Apple Music interview. You all should check it out. Now that I think about it, I can get over the smaller scale promotions Little Mix has as long as it's both thought out. Is that too much to ask? Let me know down below. Comment down below. Anyways, as always, thank you for your time. Please comment, like, follow, and subscribe. Bye.